The Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra has some game-changing upgrades that make it stand out from its predecessor, including upgrades to the battery, display, and camera. So first up, we'll start with the display, and while it remains the same size as last year's at 6.9 inches, it's going to be a much better display. According to a new report, the S26 Ultra is going to be equipped with the integrated COE OLED technology, and this stands for Color Filter on Encapsulation. And put into simple terms, it's not only going to provide better color and clarity, but it should also improve the efficiency for longer battery life. And if that wasn't enough, we've also got news of more trimmed down bezels, delivering an improved full screen display. Now, something else that's going to improve your Galaxy is with today's video sponsor, Surfshark VPN, a great way to keep all of your devices safe and fully unlock your internet. I personally use the VPN when traveling abroad to make sure all of my data is secure from man-in-the-middle attacks, but whether you're wanting to access sensitive data like banking on a public Wi-Fi, get full access of the internet the way it should be, or accessing your favorite streaming content while on holiday, Surfshark has you covered with an easy-to-use application available on all of the popular platforms like Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, Chrome, Firefox, and more. It's got a no-log policy, over 3,200 servers in 100 different countries, unlimited devices, 24/7 support, and even a 30-day money-back guarantee, so Surfshark is the perfect solution to keep all of your devices secure. Now, of course, I've placed the link down in the description below, and you can also use the code TECHNOLOGYTT to get an extra 4 months of Surfshark VPN, so go ahead and check it out now. Now back to the S26 Ultra, and for those of you that like to take photos and videos, we've got some great news that while the S26 Ultra is going to be sticking to a 200 megapixel primary camera, it will in fact be a new 1/1.1 inch CMOS sensor from Sony, and this is quite an increase from the 1/1.3 inch HP2 sensor we see in the S25 Ultra. And in simple terms, a larger sensor means more light capture, and this results in better quality photo and video with less noise, and of course, much better low light performance as well. Now next up, we've got a tweet from Ice Universe, and he advises that Samsung have increased the energy density of the S26 Ultra's battery, and while it remains at a 5,000 mAh capacity, the physical battery size is actually smaller. And he also advises that Samsung has substantially improved the fast charging due to a reduction in temperature thanks to a larger vapor chamber, and I'm sure most of you agree it's a much needed upgrade. Now, the reduction in battery size also means that we could see a reduction in the body thickness, and as the Edge model has shown us, it does seem to be a key area that Samsung are working on. The Edge model is also going to be released with the rest of the S26 lineup this time around, and a GSMA listing has pretty much confirmed what we all thought, that the Edge model is going to be replacing the Plus model. Now, the listing referred to the Galaxy S26, the S26 Edge, and the S26 Ultra, with no model number for the Plus, so as expected, it looks very likely that it's been dropped by Samsung. Now, in terms of the overall design, it's of course going to remain very similar to its predecessor, and the only real aesthetic changes are going to be a slightly thinner phone with trimmed down bezels, and focus this year has been on the hardware. But of course, I've still created these renders here to give you a good idea of what we can expect from the S26 Ultra. But for those of you excited, we're now going to run through the full specs, design, and the expected pricing, so hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. So first up, we've got the standard Galaxy S26, which is coming with a 6.2 inch dynamic AMOLED display with improvements to brightness and color accuracy. We get a 120Hz display with HDR10 Plus and a resolution of 1080 by 2340, and it's going to be protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 3. We get a 12 megapixel punch hole camera for the selfies, then over on the rear it's a triple camera setup consisting of a wide, an ultra wide, and a telephoto, but unfortunately at this time we don't know the exact sensors being used. It's going to be powered up by the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2, and it's coming with 12GB of RAM and up to 512GB of storage, which will be UFS 4. It's coming with a 4,000 mAh battery with 25W fast charging and 15W wireless charging, and it will of course come with 5G, Bluetooth 5.4, Wi-Fi 7 and ultra wideband support, and it's going to be launching with One UI 8 based on Android 16, and it's expected to launch from $800 in January 2026. Now next up, we've got the Samsung Galaxy S26 Plus, which may also be the S26 Edge, and it's coming with a 6.7-inch dynamic AMOLED display with improvements to brightness and color accuracy. We get a 120Hz display with HDR10+, a resolution of 1440 by 3120, and is protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 3. We get a 12-megapixel punch-hole camera for the selfies. Then over on the rear, it's a dual camera setup consisting of a wide and an ultra-wide, but unfortunately this time we don't know the exact sensors being used. Now it's going to be powered up by the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2, and it's coming with 12 GB of RAM and a choice of 256 or 512 storage, which will be UFS 4. And it's coming with a 3900 mAh battery with 45-watt fast charging and 15-watt wireless charging, and it will of course come with 5G, Bluetooth 5.4, Wi-Fi 7 and ultra-wideband support. And it's going to be launching with One UI 8 based on Android 16 and is expected to launch from around $1,000 in January 2026. Now finally, we've got the most premium model, the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. And the S26 Ultra is coming with a 6.9-inch dynamic AMOLED display, and again we've got improvements to brightness and color accuracy. We get a 120Hz display with HDR10+, and a resolution of 1440 by 3120, and it's going to be protected by Gorilla Glass Armor 3. We get a punch-hole camera top center to house a 12-megapixel selfie camera. And then over on the rear, we get a quad camera setup consisting of a wide, an ultra-wide, a telephoto, and a periscope camera. But again, at this moment in time, we don't know the exact sensors being used. It's going to be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 in all regions, and it's coming with up to 16 GB of RAM and 1 TB of storage, which will of course be UFS 4. Now it's coming with a 5000 mAh battery with significant improvements to the fast charging, and it will of course come with 5G, Bluetooth 5.4, Wi-Fi 7 and ultra-wideband support. It's launching with One UI 8 based on Android 16 and is expected to launch from around $1,300 in January 2026. So overall, the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra is looking like another fairly sensible release from Samsung, although many may argue that it's lacking innovation as they're again focusing on refinements and hardware rather than a complete redesign. Now of course, we get plenty of improvements to hardware, software and AI, and of course a larger camera sensor is great news as well. But like the past few years, it shares many similarities with its predecessor, so I don't think anyone with an S25 is going to be rushing out for an upgrade. But for anyone with an older S phone or looking to try out their first S phone, then it's going to be a great choice. Now of course, we're still quite a way from the official launch next year, but as soon as any more leaks come in, I'm going to be sharing them as soon as they do, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing in the future.